Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. Now we're in an MG4. It's a hatchback. I've had it for a few days, so I've already used it quite a bit. It's charged to 90%, so we should be able to do our usual run and no problems at all. I've lent it from the nice guys at the Auto Center, your local MG and Subaru dealer in the Fredrikstad area. And yeah, it's a nice place to be. It really is. So let's get cracking and let's get a coffee first of all. One design detail I just got used to and forgot to mention. You get in the car, you have the key with you, of course. You push the brakes, you get in driving, and you're off. No key, no buttons, nothing. So that's just how it's supposed to be. So what is the first impressions of this car then? Well, it's a compact car, but you don't really think of that when you sit here in the front because you have plenty of space. Seats are very comfortable, and you have good support. Maybe I'm missing a little bit of support for my lower back, but it's okay. Steering wheel feels nice. The ergonomics here is very nice. And the car looks fabulous. I've often been thinking this is what the ID3 should have looked like. I know you then have the Cupra that sort of does the same job. But, well, it undercuts the ID3. Well, it doesn't necessarily undercut, depending on the version you go off of course. This starts at around 30,000 euros, 30 to 35,000 euros, depending on the market and so on. It has a WLTP range of 435 kilometers, I think. It says on the doors. You have decent space in the back seats. It's a small car, so of course with me in it you have an effective 3-seater, but that's not the car's fault, that's just how it is. This is the top of the range model, and I think it's around 40,000 euros, maybe 37-ish. And it's relatively quiet in here as well, refined. They've kept the wind noise down. There's a bit of tire noise, but not all that much. And it looks fun and sporty and cool, and you know this is going to be a ride. And it's sort of it's too softly sprung for that. You sort of ride it on the door handles if you want to, because it leans in a lot. But when it's done leaning in, you can push it, and you can drive it quickly. If it's fun, I don't know. Maybe it's okay. It's okay. But with the range and the relatively low price of this car, the affordability of it, it's a small, affordable car with decent range, and that's sort of what we've been wanting to have for years. And it's an MG, and so it's owned by SAIC, and it has the funding, and the materials in here are decently good. Storage is okay. You have there's no frunk in it, sadly, but the lights seem to be okay as well. I haven't tested them because it's summer and we hardly have any darkness, so it's the wrong time of year to test lights. I'm pleasantly surprised by it, because I've driven a few MGs now, and all the things have been very okay, but I think this is one of the best ones I've driven so far. And the trip computer is quite nice as well. It actually gives you every kind of data point you want to have since last charge, since the trip started, and all of that stuff. It's been averaging around 160 watt hours, 65 watt hours, which is perfectly alright. I must say, and when you do 300 kilometers in the charge, you don't really worry about range. And the charge is supposed to peak at 135 kilowatt, but does 20-20% in half an hour, which is more or less what everybody else does, so it's okay. Well, then it's the interior, isn't it? I think the car looks absolutely fabulous. They've done a brilliant job with the outward design of this one. They really have. Inside, materials, soft touch, slightly cheap, but okay. This soft touch plastics. Steering wheel here. You have your media controls. Okay. How do you run that trip computer? You push this button here with the pages on. Now you can cycle through everything. And run through some music. I like it this way. It's very nicely set up. Once you understand this is a toggle switch, because then this is a pure media button again. It works very well, very well. Here you have your cruise controls. Feel of the stalks is good. Nice feeling the other surface. The surface here is pretty okay, perfectly okay. Space in there. This one you could use to something. Lid, storage, cup holders, charge ports, charge plate, gear selector. Small glove compartment. Very nice seats. For your sunglasses. And then you have this one. Now, the infotainment, the screen isn't that big. It's 8 inches or whatever it is, 7 point something. It's something. It doesn't really matter. Home here. And then now go here, for instance. And you wait. And it starts. Go here. See, push charger. You wait some more. And you get a list. You have quite a lot of chargers. That works very well, and that's good. Now, and then you have your air conditioning. Well, what's that? Because that's an on and off switch. Let's put it on, shall we? And then that pops up. Okay. But now what you're gonna do? You're on the run. You're gonna adjust it. But you have a demister here, and you have a. That's okay, but what's the aircon? You push this one again, it pops up. You start fumbling about, and you maybe want to swap this around, and the lag of it, and then you're driving, and then the menu goes away, and you push it again, and it comes on, and then you're going to turn it off, and then you don't know how this works because you just got the car and you're doing all this sort of things, and you're trying to, and now it's off. It's not supposed to be off, it's supposed to be on, and then it's all chaos. And then you figure out, touch here, short button. But it is faffy and fiddly, and on a small screen like this, it really should have been physical controls. I know, I'm saying you should have physical controls or something, that's crazy, but this is actually true. This is not optimal at all. This is why people end up hating touchscreens. This is the reason. And then there's slightly laggy inputs, and yeah. But the system in itself works just fine. Yes, it's a bit slow, but you can get used to it, so you can get around it, because you can get CarPlay. And you have here charger. You can set your charge level. So it's not bad. It's well planned out. It's just a little bit slow, but you get used to that. Instruments ready, easy to read, nice, clean. It's somewhat reminiscent, I think, of what several others have as well. It's an honest car. It's not trying to be something it isn't, and it's good. I like it. The turning circle, I haven't mentioned that. It's brilliant. Now on medium to low speed, the car sort of pivots around a little bit, and then it sort of But when you begin to push it, you can actually have quite some fun, and this can be driven quite quick, this car. Because when you look at the specs of it, they say 250 Newton meters, 204 horsepower, 2,100 kilos of car. Doesn't necessarily blow you away. 0 to 60 in 7.5 or 7.9 or whatever thereabouts. But what you used to call in-gear acceleration of this thing, it's really it's quite quick. So when you're on the motorway or you're doing quick transitions, like passing a car or a trailer or something, it's really not a problem at all. It builds up speed quite quickly. I'm impressed by this thing, and then coupled with a nice feedback from the steering and all of that stuff, you can really have quite fun in this one. It's not a racer in any manner, no means at all, but it is a fun little car. But the big drawback here is the implementation of the air conditioning in the screen. The screen itself is a little bit small, a little bit slow. Okay, that you can live with, but I sort of panicked when I got this car and I was supposed to adjust the fan speed of it, because it's a little bit tiresome on auto, because it runs too high constantly, and that I didn't like that. And then I didn't fiddle with it and then stop actually to get around it to solve the problem, and that's just not how it's supposed to be. The rest of the infotainment system is okay. Space in the back seats is actually quite decent. I mean, I can sit upright. I have space for my head. I have space for my torso. I have just enough space for my legs behind myself. Not something you could do comfortably for hours, but if I didn't have such long legs, the front seat, the driver's seat would be further forward, and you would have plenty of space. It would be okay. Luggage space is good, perfectly adequate considering the type of car this is. So, I mean, this is I'm just finding myself liking this car more and more. I put it in sport, and it's a bit more responsive now. It is. It's not a sports car. It's not meant to be a sports car. It never will be. Oh, and it has vehicle to load. Of course it has. It's a Chinese car. So 2.5 kilowatt or something. Nothing massive, but you know, you can pull your coffee maker or whatever you want. But that's okay. That's good. That's good. Now let's get some coffee, shall we? So how does it function on the with the cruise control on? It's supposed to have some. It does have a lane assist, but that only works in a queue situation, which is strange. But it doesn't really matter. The adaptive cruise is okay. It's a little bit nervous around cars and reacts a little bit too early, reducing your speed and stuff like that. But it's okay. It works. It's not quiet in here. It's not a safe. But again, it's a relatively affordable little car. But it's not much wind noise in here at all. It's some tire noise. Yes, but not much else. And it's okay. I've been in far more expensive cars with more noise level. It's okay. It's okay. I've been in more expensive cars with higher noise levels than this. Me and Robert could have a perfectly adequate normal conversation in this car without raising our voices, and that's, yeah, it's good. And you have the power to go, as we mentioned before, you have plenty of poke in this car to accelerate into and out of problems. And you can, it just in some ways reminds me, this is what the ID3 should have been all along. Apart from the old Tegra or whatever, it feels like an old Tegra cheap. It feels, apart from the what feels like an old Tegra 3 chip in the infotainment system, of course. It's funky to look at, it's fun to drive, it has plenty of range, it's quick enough, and it has decent seats. and perfectly decent ergonomics as well. I mean, yeah, what's not to like? And you do easily 300 kilometers in the range. We have 76% now. We are running since last charge. We have an average consumption of 178 watt hours. That's perfectly okay. It's 23 degrees outside. It's dry roads. It's a few droplets of rain in the air, but nothing much, nothing major. So we have optimum driving conditions as well. We're done. 153.5 kilometers, 48%. We're left with 90%, mind you. So that gives you an easily achievable 300 kilometers of range. And if you do this in more country roads, I think you can get to, if not to 400, then very close to 400 kilometers of range. So it's not that far off its quoted WLTP. And I must say that's impressive. It's a brilliant little car. It's a Golf-sized car, roughly, or the size of that Leaf probably, give or take. It's decently priced. It's fun. It's quick. Relatively energy efficient. We had a total run of 100. We had a total consumption of 176 watt hours so far. Looks good. Decently equipped. Nice ergonomics. Apart from the mentioned infotainment system, I don't really find any flaws in this car. It's yeah, it's good. I think MG is doing very well, and like I said, I haven't been able to test the cars. Oh, like I said, I haven't been able to test the lights, but apart from that, sound levels are good. Yeah, I don't really see the reason not to consider this one if you want a small hatchback. And with a very decent range, that's not supposed to cost too much. It has an 11 kilowatt onboard charger, so you charge it overnight. It's not a problem. Quick charging is not any faster or slower than anything else. So I think that will be it for now. If you like the video, please do subscribe. It always helps. And leave a like. And stay safe out there. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.